All right, and we're talking about women's health and surgery, part two, post-surgery, RX fitness and nutrition. That's exactly how I feel when I'm doing this Planet Radio. It is my therapy, though. And I hope that all of you have gotten a chance to listen to my posts or my past posts. This is one of the final posts that I've been looking forward to talking about, and this has been my experience since I started this journey. And I started on the road to recovery, which that's the focus, is of course I could try to figure out maybe some other reasons why some people are diagnosed with health issues. I look at the couple factors, of course, family history. Um, you know, there could be some stressors in your life and other maybe factors. And as a result, I went through surgery and now I'm in post-surgery. And one of the things I have to do is, of course, eliminate some stressors because that's been aggravating some of my personal problems. And maybe having all this free time has taught me something. Overuse of the internet and YouTube. Maybe that's one of them. But with all that aside, I do think you need to have a social life, but the social life can take a backseat for a while. And one of the things I've learned is that you can't get a good exercise in if you're on social media or, in my case, doing Planet Radio. And one of the things, the drawbacks of doing radio is that you have to sit on your can a lot, and that's not exactly what I was thinking about when I was thinking about surgery. And one of the opportunities I have is, since I'm going back to work, is I have to work out and I have to get back into my routine again, and I'm not in my routine. But some things that I learned from surgery, let me tell you, my journey's been a little hard. There have been some setbacks, but I told you guys, trying to figure everything out in a couple months is almost impossible. I've tried and it doesn't work, but good luck. Anyone that figures it out, let me know. But one of the things I know that you have to have a couple things to heal and grow. And I do believe spiritual support is essential. I've gotten that. And really just kind of taking it easy. Something I think we overlook. When they said take it easy, I looked at them and my eyes kind of just rolled back like, what are you talking about? Take it easy. Tell that to the people that need the bills paid. And, that's kind of hard. And it's one of the bigger stressors because you do get hit financially and on and on. But, of course, I started with 1, spirituality, 2, taking it easy, and 3, give yourself time to recover. And, of course, that means get into a fitness routine, but give yourself the time you need to heal. And that, for me, it's harder to heal in the winter. It actually took twice as long to heal because of the winter. And I'm not saying that you can't heal, but it just made it a lot harder. And one of the things I was a little, I was a little shell-shocked because I had been down for a while and I had been out a lot. My routine had obviously dramatically changed. So little by little, I had to learn how to get used to just doing normal things. And I wasn't driving much, but if I did drive, very rarely would I drive anywhere far away from home. And I mean, when I say far enough away from home, it's 5 miles, just because of my condition. And relying less on transportation. But that is awful when you don't have proper transportation or finances. And I was very, very fortunate. I met some people that helped me through this. I needed therapy, though. I had suffered some severe setbacks in the process, and I started counseling. And I think that's normal, having been through an ordeal personally. There were a lot of struggles, but one of the things I learned about the spiritual component is letting go. You got to let go of the anger. You got to let go of the frustration, no matter how right you want to be, however justified you might feel by what you've been through, okay? You got to learn to forgive, and it's one of the hardest things I came across. I became very angered because I had tried to talk to people. I tried it, and it got to the point I didn't even know what I was talking about. But when it comes to your hormones, who knows what's talking? It might be your hormones, okay? So I heard that, and I don't want to overuse that because that's not funny when you're really going through it. But I had to learn to let go and forgive others. And I have to realize that there were some things that were lacking in my life, especially my diet. But lack of exercise, those oxygen levels, etc., all those things are going to apply here. So I look at, when I say fitness after spirituality, of course that includes nutrition, a balanced lifestyle, and that's probably means, when I say balance, it means staying off of social media and not making that your primary source of communication, which that was my problem. And of course, 3 is just give yourself time to recover, because according to the surgeons and doctors, you need a year to recover, sometimes 2 years. I notice with some people it may take up to 5 years, but I have bounced back, and I think that's a good thing. And what I've learned from this is by sharing my experience, I can help somebody. So there is a benefit to helping people because there's purpose in that. And one of the things you find when you're going through these downtimes is that you have to have purpose. There's a reason. I think mainly when people come through a bad experience and they're at the point that I've heard multiple people that at the end of the road, they're depressed, they're ready to commit suicide, but somehow the only thing that changes is that they find a purpose to live. And that makes sense, because anyone's been through a dark time and they come out of that dark time, it's a little weird because you're like, wow, I came out of this dark place and everything's really sunny suddenly. I'm not questioning that you can enjoy the weather, you can enjoy the sun. One of the things, though, going through a dark spiritual time is just having faith and trusting and praying yourself through it. And suddenly, just be consistent and stay in a good pattern and a routine. And, just make sure you get into a practice of being consistent or being around people that are consistent with you. Either way, consistency and routine. People around you that are consistent or trying to attempt to get on a schedule are most likely going to try to look for the same goal as they want to be healthy or they want to be in a healthy relationship. And those are the best people to be around. There's some more, looking for more supportive people around you. And slowly and gradually, you're going to have to learn to let go of those people that are not good for you. And the reason I say that is mainly because I'm not just talking about post-surgery, but I think once you come through a life-changing experience, you're not going to always relate to people the same way you did. You're going to relate to them differently. And mainly because you've been through it and you want to help somebody. And the kind of people, of course, are you going to be your target that you're going to help are people that are going through this. They're diagnosed, or they may have lost a family member or friend due to some type of cancer or tumor and treatment. And because some of us are still in this process, there is support for each of us. And generally, by helping each other, you're helping yourself. That's usually the model which I've learned works the best. And that's exactly what they said. And I followed that model. Volunteering has changed the way I looked at recovery. Mainly because I realized that what I'm sharing here, while it might be just a general post, I'm showing you that there is hope. I came from a very hopeless situation, and I mean hopeless. When I say I was living in a women's shelter, diagnosed with tumors, with no family, no phone calls, no letters, not even a get well card. That was pretty hard. The thing that gave me purpose, though, was that the doctors were helping me. They were helping me pay my hotel expenses, and they were literally getting me the gas to get to Missouri, to get to see the doctors that they hoped to. It was really a rare situation under the most unusual circumstances. But by the time I got to Missouri, the travel expenses were covered, and I relocated, and I was really primarily on the right path. And I look at it, what happened over the last year, it was pretty much a bumpy ride, but I finally got to see the doctors. I got surgery, because I had to go through 2 surgeries. And I'm going to be on a treatment plan for the remainder of this period of recovery. And even though I had setbacks, my recovery is like really one day at a time. But overall, the last 6 months to the next year is going to be, health and wellness. And I kind of got to the point where this health and wellness thing was starting to get old. But it's all true. I I do try to cut up lemons at night before go. Now that I started back to work, I cut up lemons because that does help with weight loss and help. It has a lot of other benefits. And I try to make sure I have staples in my diet like that: lemons, other fruit, oranges. I have to be careful with the citruses, but overall, these are new staples to my diet, and that's changing gradually. And of course, cutting out some other bad habits, which is, I mean, everybody's like, okay, you're going to get to this point where you're going to finally get to the realization that you cut out all these bad habits. It only took me 25 years, but that's okay. I'm a slow learner. And coffee, some people say, well, if you limit your coffee, then, I'm like, okay, one vice at a time. I'm doing my best. But one of the things I notice about stressors is you have to have a healthy outlook. And a healthy outlook means, to me, and I'm breaking it down to you guys like this. I'm going to bullet. I put 5. I'm not quite sure I'm going to come up with 5. But healthy outlook is overall appearance and hygiene. Okay? We all have to feel good. Hygiene is key. So that's not just self-help crap. That's just overall feeling good about yourself, meaning you took a shower, you brushed your hair, you brushed your teeth, overall hygiene and personal appearance. A fitness routine and sticking with it. Sticking with it means setting small goals. That's those setting those small goals. If you can't get a small goal accomplished, then you'll have to figure it out from there. I'm not quite sure, but set small goals. Okay, so we got overall fitness, and just remind yourself you're okay. You're not crazy. You survived. And surround yourself, number 4, surround yourself around healthy people that are supportive and good for you. Encouraging, meaning encouraging. And lastly, stick to it. You're a winner. Now, the winner part, you got to really earn that title. Okay, but you have to think like a winner. And if you're coming from a place of defeat, you will feel defeated every time. This I ran into. It is called discouragement. And there's nothing more discouraging than waiting for somebody to say something to you and you're wishing upon a star. And that's called wishful thinking for a reason. Okay? A lot of people are waiting for somebody to say something to validate them. That validation you have to find within yourself. Spiritual support, health and recovery, these goals are essential for proper recovery. Otherwise, you'll run into the same thing. I went through the cycle of anger. I went through a grieving process in this. Even while some people might not look at it as a grieving process, I had to let go of some things. I had to let go of some of my hopes and dreams, and I had to replace them with other new ones. Now, that's one day at a time, too. But one of my hopes and dreams that died through this is that I couldn't have children. But I found out that I might have some strengths. I might be able to be more like a mother to some certain other people. But the thing is, women have this maternal need. And all these things matter to a person that's going through recovery. So I hope this helps you, these steps in recovery. You'll learn through this that the things you can avoid next time. If you run into things and you wonder why you're so angry about something, and those emotions are all bottled up, you have to have a healthy outlet for it. No, getting mad and screaming on the internet is not one of them. Not blowing up somebody's notifications, which I learned that doesn't work too. Some of us go through this stuff, and oftentimes you're not connected with the right people because they don't maybe not understand where you're at. And I look at it this way. I saw a lot of people unfriend me. There wasn't a whole lot I can do. The only thing I learned about recovery, because there's other aspects of post-surgery and recovery that you need to know, is stay out of the drama triangle. If they don't understand where you're at, it's not up to you to explain it over the phone, eat up 3 hours of somebody's time. Most likely they're not going to listen. They'll tune you out. I found this out to be true. I give you some healthy examples why what sets people back in recovery. And because I've learned the hard way, sadly, and I can look back at this, I realize and I recognize that these are the things that probably maybe caused me to set back, and those are things I had to look to myself. So I took personal responsibility, knowing that I needed to take responsibility for my recovery. And that being said, we're on our road to recovery. Thank you. Okay, so I hope by doing some of these reports, I hope you understand I have to wrap it up for a little bit. I always do updates, but not like I have been in the last couple of months. I've had a lot of time off, and I hope by doing these reports as a wrap-up, I'll be able to do Planet Radio, but I'll probably have to take some downtime and take it easy because my work schedule is probably doubled. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be on. I'm just not going to, at the point I've been. But I had to wrap up the third watch. I did a final report there, and I also did a final third field report this series, and I hope you see that some of us hopefully reached out to people that needed that help. I hope that radio entertainment helped. I'm going to do maybe one or two more episodes of One Political Theater as a finale. But overall, I hope what we've accomplished at Planet Radio and our student project, and as we're wrapping up the last final episodes, that wherever we start back, if we start back by June, May, sometime this May or June, we might, change up some things. But I've been wanting to do the Planet Radio for a while, and it depends. I don't know if this is all 100% success, but we can dump it. And the whole reason we did the student project is so that we can improve and just be able to reach our audience, like on all aspects. I don't know everything, but at least I'm going to talk about the things that I do know about, okay? And we don't know who we might be able to help in the process, so that was the whole point to that. But as I wrap it up, I am really not looking forward to doing this because I really don't want to have to go back to work. If you were me, you would probably want to stay home and make a living and do whatever, but I have to go back to work. Bills got to get paid, and I got to think responsibility, and I got to work out more. There's a lot of things that have to change, but these are little goals, okay? I didn't say I was completely leaving my post here. I don't know that I can just walk away from everything. That's not realistic, but I do have to cut down my schedule. So hopefully, I don't know, like I said, they're going to be random reports, and I hope I'll be able to keep up. I know, there's small goals, gradually going back to work. That idea, I haven't been working for a few months, so it's a little hard to go back without recognizing that. I have to let go of the radio time that I had, but that doesn't mean we're completely leaving, but I have to, it's called close up shop for a little bit, or at least, get on a different schedule altogether, which is, who knows how that works out. But it's one day at a time. I mean, I just went around telling everybody how to do goals and set goals, so it is one day at a time and setting small goals, and we hope to have helped whoever we had to help and reach out to whoever we need to reach out to. Hopefully, whatever we've learned from all this, that we can only improve. And if there's any suggestions or feedback that you would want to email me, please do so. I'm closing up chat as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know if anybody even went in there. I opened it up for that purpose, but I got to close up chat. But if you do want to contact me at mossyrosefield@gmail.com. That way I can respond to your emails. And if I do respond to it, I would maybe even do a follow-up or update. And by you emailing me, I will definitely consider doing a follow-up or update to whatever posts we've been talking about. I do read letters. I do read your information. I might not be able to get to Facebook Messenger, so I ask all of you at least consider emailing me again at mossyrosefield@gmail.com. Okay, well, thanks again. That's a wrap for me, and thank you again. The Field Report is a part of the Amateur Radio Network.